Okay, so good morning to everyone. So in the previous class, okay. So in the previous class, we have seen about the instructions format, that how the instruction format should be. And today we will discuss about the types of the actions performed by the instruction. So instruction, what will be the type of the actions this instructions perform? Today we will see about that. So mainly there are four type of instructions or the types of the actions that is performed by the instructions. So the four types are the processor to memory, then processor to input output device. Third one is the data processing, and the fourth one is the control. So we will discuss about one by one each of these types of actions that is performed by the instruction. So the first type is the processor to memory. Now, what this means? This means if any instruction transfers the data between processor and memory. So that means if the instruction is transferred between processor and memory, then it will be of the type of actions processor to memory. Type of actions performed by the instruction, that would be the processor to memory. That means the data will be transferred between processor and memory. So what are the two types of operations we have seen? Memory write and memory read. So that means this memory read and memory write operations will be performed. That if we write it into the memory, or the data transferred from memory to CPU. These are the two types. That if the data is transferred between processor and memory, then either it will be memory write or it will be memory read. So memory write means if we write into the memory, or if the data is transferred from memory to the CPU, that means the data we are reading, the data that we are reading from the memory by the CPU. Using the processor or CPU or processor, we are reading the data from the memory. And after reading the data, we are storing it into the register internally. So after reading the data, we stored it into the registering internally. So this is the first type of actions that is performed by the instruction, that is processor to memory. Then next will be the processor to input output device. Now, what is the this suggest? Now, if the instruction deals between processor and input output module or components, then we can say it is between the processor to input output actions performed. So, what will be the example of it? What it will be the example? The example is if from input output device, that means the data come from input output device to the processor. Because this type of instruction is what? This instruction deals between processor to input output device. That means it can go from input output device to the processor or from processor to input output device. These two types we can perform. So if the data come from input output device to the processor, the data that is come from input output device to the processor, that means example, let's say we are taking the example that we are writing some comments, we are writing some commands into the computer. So that means which came to the processor after writing these comments, this command should be executed. So that means these are going from the processor to as an instruction. That means when we are writing the command, so this command will go to the processor as an instruction. That means now after writing the command, we have to execute it. So that means this type of an instruction is going to the processor. So when we are writing this command, so that means this is the example of input output device to the processor. The data is going from, or we can say the instruction is going from input output device to the processor when we are writing some comments. And the vice versa example is what? If the data is coming from processor to input output device, that is when the data is transferred to the output device. That means when the result we are seeing, when the result we are seeing in this, that the data is displaying in the monitor. That is the example of processor to input output device. That means the data is going transferring from processor to output device. That is the example of the processor to input output. Okay, clear till now? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is the example from processor to input output device and input output device to the processor. That is when we are writing some commands and when we are want to execute. That means this command is going as an instruction to the processor. This is the example from input output device to the processor. Now, the third type is the data processing. Now, what is this? This those instruction which included or performed arithmetic operations. That means that instruction which contains arithmetic operation, logical operation, like this. Also, all these operations are performed by the processor. Those instructions are for the data processing. That means arithmetic operation, logical operation, all of these operations are performed by the processor. That is the example for the data processing. And if those instructions which contain or included alter sequence of execution. Now, this will be the type of the control. That means if in the program we write the jump command or we can using this. So that means this is the control. So controlling the sequence of execution. Those type of instructions are for the control instructions. So these are the four types. These are the four types present that what type of action performed by the instruction. These are the four types. So now we will see the normal knowing about the accumulator register concept. So what is the accumulator register? So basically, when I have told you that there are two types of registers we have. One is the general purpose register, and another one is the special purpose register. These are the two types. So general purpose registers are capable of storing data and address simultaneously. But special purpose register is what there are some special purpose registers that we have present that either it can contain the data or it can contain the address, but simultaneously it cannot store both of them. So accumulator register is the special type of register, and this type of register store what? Only the data. So we can always say that it is the data register. It is not capable of storing the address. And this accumulator register is used by the ALU. That means arithmetic logic unit of the CPU use this accumulator register. And this type of register is used to store immediate result. This type of register store the immediate result or the temporary data. Now in the program, we always use temporary variable concept. So temporarily storing the data or storing the intermediate result. This during the operations performed by the ALU, this register is used. That means this register used to store the immediate result or the data during the operations performed by the ALU. So intermediate results or the temporary results, this register is used to store that. And this is operations. These operations are performed that when the ALU is performing the data during these operations performed by the ALU. Okay, so this is the concept of the accumulator register. Now we have already seen about the instructions format, the types of instructions performed by the instructions, type of actions performed by the instructions and the concept of the accumulator register. Now, if let's say we will see that example of how instructions is executed in the computer. So let's say there is an instruction. In this type of instruction, we have ADD A comma B. So this type of instructions came here to the computer. This type of instructions came, that ADD A comma B. Now this A and this B are the memory locations. This A and B are the memory locations, or we can say these are the operands. The concept you have seen that we have the operand and the operand at present. So this A and B is what? This A and B is the memory location. Now, this instruction, let's say ADD A comma B, this instruction is stored into the memory location, let's say which address is 201. So this memory location, this address is stored. So when these instructions will come, so as a layman term, what we will do, that this instruction, when these instructions will come, the instructions address will be the first calculated. So where this instruction is stored in the memory location, that address should be calculated first. Now, after the address calculation, when this address is calculated, let's say here, this 201 memory location, this instruction is stored. So that means when the instructions address calculation will be performed, then we are able to know that its location is on 201. So first, when this instruction will come, what it will be do, the processor will do what? The instructions will be first address of the instructions will be captured. Now, after address calculation, what we will perform? After address calculation, the instructions will be fetched. Now, if you remember in the previous class when the instruction format I have shown, in that what we have done from memory, the instruction, we will fetch the instructions into the register. And we have a special type of register. We have a special type of register, which we call the instructions register. The special type of register, we called it as the instructions register. So the instruction is fetched. The instruction is fetched from memory to the instructions register. From memory to the instructions register. So after address calculation, we will perform the instruction fetch operation. And this instruction fetch operation, the instruction will loaded into the instructions register. And it will be fetched from where? It will be fetched from the memory. Now, this is the second step. So we already know the address of the instruction, and after that, the instruction will fetch into the instructions register. We perform till now that. Now, after that, what we will do? After that, which operation has to be performed? Which operation has to be performed? We will, using decoding the instructions, we will able to know that. Now, after fetching the instructions, we will decode this instruction. We will decode these instructions and we able to know that what operations we have to perform. We have to perform the add operation. So after fetching the operation, we will perform the decode. So after decoding the instructions, we will be able to know which operation has to be performed. So as an example, we see in this example, we have taken ADD, that means addition. Addition has to be done. Okay, so till now we able to know that what operation has to be performed. Now, next step, what we will do? The processor then determines which operations will be performed. Now we are able to know that what operations we have to perform, but over whom these operations will be performed, over whom these operations will be performed, we will determine in the next step. That means in this memory location, after this, processor will determine that in this memory location A and B, and between A and B, in A, the value stored or the data that is stored into the A and the data that is stored into the B, that between that data, the addition operations has to be performed. So processor determines in this step that over whom or on which data the operations should be performed. So this is the fourth step. Now, what operations have to be performed, over whom operations performed, we will be able to know that. So next step we'll do what? In the next step, we will get the operands. Now, get the operands means what? If the any operands present into the memory, let's say here it is present into the memory, the operands A and B. This is present into the memory because A and B are the memory location. And in this memory location is what? In this memory location, the data is stored. So that means if any operands that is present in the memory, then processor will brought it into the temporary register and performs the computation, because everything we have to perform that should be brought into the instructions register. So that means A and B are the memory location, and in this memory location the data is stored. So that means this this will have to, this operands that is present into the memory will have to brought into the temporary register, and after brought into the temporary register we perform the computation. So now this we already able to know what is the operations, over whom the operations should be performed, and we have, these are the memory location, so we have brought it into the register and temporary register brought into the temporary register. Now we will do what? So all things are, we have compiled right, and now we will perform the operations, and after performing the operations, the result will be shown. So this is this is the steps. Now we not only see that, because when we write the commands, same things happens. So when we directly use some like this commands, so in the backside, this process goes on. So this is the steps. This is the steps how an instructions is executed into the computer. Okay, clear? Anyone has any question? समझ में आया सबको?
Yes, sir.
ओके, जहां जगह में समझ में नहीं आएगा तो पूछना, ठीक है? Now this
Yes,
is
sir.
how the instructions is executed. So now this is the explanation. This is the explain. I have only explained that how it can be performed, but mainly this is the states of an instruction cycle. So these are the states and states of the instruction cycle. That means instructions should be executed. These are the states of it. So first, already we have seen that first the instructions address calculation. Now we will briefly describe how this we performed. Now, instructions address calculation is what? So if any instructions came, that means find or determine the address of the next instructions to be executed. That means first we have seen that instructions address calculations happen. So that is what we will determine the address. Here in this step, we will determine the address of the next instructions to be executed. So what is the next instructions? That address should be calculated first. Now, this will the sequential order. Mainly in sequential order, we have performed that. So in sequential order, if we perform, then we have to add a fixed number to the address of the previous instruction. So if this is the sequential execution, that means the instructions is present one by one. one after another, the instruction is present. So if it is in the sequential order, then we have to add a fixed number to the address. We will have to add a fixed number to the address of the previous instruction. So let's say as an example, if we take, let's say as an example, this is the memory location. Let's say this is the memory location. So first is the 0, memory location address is 0. Now 0 location instructions has been executed. So in this step, what we do, instructions address calculation, find or determine the address of the next instruction. So 0 is the location of the instructions has been executed. Now the next location instructions will be executed. So how are we able to know that what is the address of the next instruction? Now, if it is in the sequential execution, then we have to add a fixed number to the address of the previous instruction. So how we will get the fixed number? How we will able to know what is the fixed number we have to add? Now, this fixed number depends on the size of the instruction. This fixed number depends on the size of the instructions and each memory location. Fixed number depends on the size of the instructions and each memory location. That is basically, this is like the concept of in the programming that in array, first what only the base location address we able to know. And if it is integer type, then that means, let's say if the base location address is 2000, base location's address is 2000. And now if the array is integer type, so that means we will add any compiler, it should be, we have to add the 4 byte or 2 bytes, or it is the character. That means if it is the character, that means next location address will be, because 1 is the size of the character, that means next location address will be 2001. Then after the next location, the next location, third location address will be 2002, because the size, it is the character type, and the character type array character is of 1 byte. So like this, if the base address, the first location address is 2000, then the second location address will be 2, because carries 1 byte, and location address 2002. Then fourth location will be 2003, like this. So here also, if the fixed, here also that fixed number, the fixed number that has to be added to the previous instruction depends on the size of the instruction and each memory location. Now let's say example, if we take that instructions length is 16-bit and the memory length is also 16-bit. That means what will be the next instructions address? Because fixed number depends on the size of the instructions. And we have taken the size of the instruction, let's say 16. That means next location address will be 0 plus 1 into 16. Because this is depends on 0 plus 16. So the value will be 16. So that is how we able to know what is the next location address, because the fixed number we have to add. And what will be the value of the fixed number? The fixed number value will be the size of the instructions, different size of the instructions, and each memory location. So depends upon that, we will able to know that. So that means 0th location. So first will be the 0th location and second will be the 16. If we take that instructions length is 16 bits and memory length is also 16 bits. But if we, let's say if we take 8 bits, the instructions length is 8 bits and memory length is also 8 bits. In that case, it will be 0 plus 1 into 8. So 0 plus 8, the next instructions will be the next instruction address location should be 8. It depends upon that. So that's how the instructions address is calculated. So this is the first step how the instructions address calculation is done. Next step is what? Instructions fetch. So instruction fetch means read the instructions. The instruction, read that instructions from memory location into the processor. This is the instructions fetch. Now, after instruction fetch, that is the decoding. So decoding is basically what? To know what operations has to be performed in the instructions. So that means we have to analyze the instructions. We have to analyze the instructions to find out which operations to be performed and kind of operands to be used. That means what kind of operands we have to use, we will able to, this states defines that instructions operation decoding state that analyze the instructions and know what operations to be performed and over which operands or the kind of operands we have to use. The next is the operand's address calculation. Next is the operand's address calculation. So operand's address calculation is what? We have to find the address of the operand if it will be obtained from memory or input device. Now, if the operand is stored into the memory or input device, then only we have to do what? We have to find the address of the operands. And if it will be obtained from memory or input device, these states can be done. So this is the operand's address calculation. That means the memory location in which the operands is stored, like that its address should be found and the address should be calculated. Then next is what? Next is the operands fetch. So if the operands is stored into the memory or input output device, but if it is present in the register, then okay, we didn't have to brought it into here. But if it is stored into the memory or input device, so we have to read the operand from the memory or input device. That will be the operands fetch. That will be the operand's fetch state. Now, after operand's fetch state, we have to data operation. That means we have to perform the operation specified by the instructions on the specified operands. So what is the operations we have already determined? So now these operations we have to perform on this specific operands, which what we have read it from the memory and input device. And after performing the operation, we will store it. After performing the operation, we will store it. So last state will be the operands store. So this is basically the states of an instruction cycle. And the diagram is what? This is the diagram. So first instructions address should be calculated. Then after calculating the instructions address, know the instructions address, then the instructions will be fetched. And after the instructions will be fetched, instructions will be decoded. So after decoding, we are able to know that what operations should be performed. Then it will go to the operand's address calculation. So after operand's address calculation will go when? Then that means the operand is stored into the memory or input output device. In that case, the operand's address calculation should be performed. And after that, the operands will be fetched. Now, if there is multiple operands, that means again, the operand's address should be calculated and again it will be fetched. That means if multiple operands is present. So that means let's say if we take the previous example, that is add A comma B. So A is an operand. So first A's operand address is calculated and then operands fetched. That means A is fetched into the instructions register. Then the B operand's address is calculated and it is again fetched. So like this, if multiple operands is present, then one by one the operand's address will be calculated and the operands will be fetched. And after that, the operands fetched, data operations should be performed, because we have already brought the operands and what specific operations we have to perform over that operands, we already able to know that. So that means the final, that is, we will perform the data operations, and after that all operations performed, we will store that operand in the out specific result. We will store, write the result into the memory or the specific output device. So this is the states. This is the states how an instruction should be executed, or this is the states of an instruction cycle. This is very much important, that some in the exam it is given that state the instruction cycle. So one by one, this instruction cycle, only one thing you should do, what this seven states, this seven state, if you see the names, you will describe that, the points you will write, and after that describe each state's thing, and you will give this the diagram, so it will be clear to everyone. So this is the states of the instruction cycle. This is very much important. These questions came. Okay. It is clear.
Yes, sir.
So this is all about the instructions. So we already seen about what is the instructions, then instructions format, and after that, this is the state. What are the type of actions performed by the instructions? And this is the state of the instruction cycle. Okay. So now we have completed all the thing about the instructions. So today we'll start another thing, that is the logic micro operations. The concept or the topic about the logic micro operations. Now, logic micro operations is what? Logic micro operations is the logical operation. Basically, the logical operations. The logical operations, we have already know that we have total logical operations: and, or, not, nor, NAND, XOR, or XNOR. These are the total logical operations we have. Now here, the bits of the registers, mainly the bits of the registers, are considered separately as the binary variable. That means mainly the data which is necessary to store into the computer, mainly the data which is necessary to store into the computer, we know that it is stored into the register. And the particular is what? The particular format, in the binary format, it is stored. So it is, this particular is stored into the as a binary format. So let's say this is an example. It is given, this is an example, R1, and this is given R1, R2. So this is what? This performs, this means AND operation in discrete mathematics. If you remember, these are the operators given, and each operator has some meaning. So this operator means, if like this R1 and an arrow is given, and R1, R2. So this type of operator is given, that means we have to perform AND operation. Now that means what? In R1 register, the data that is stored into the R1 register, and the data that is stored into the R2 register, between that data, we have to perform the AND operation. And after performing the AND operation, the result will be generated, and this result will be stored into the R1 register. This means that, so let's say in R1, the value is given as 1100, and then R2, the value is given 1001. And we have to perform the AND operation. So if we perform AND operation means what? AND operations means, if there is same value, then if it is 1, in that case only the value will be 1. In other cases, all it will be 0. So that means 1, 1. it is one only shown, but in other cases you see it is 0 because AND operation in only one. If it is to 1, then only 1 will be written. So that means the value it is stored, that the value, the result we have got, that R1 equal to 100 means after performing AND operation, the result we get 1000 and it is stored into the R1. So this is the thing. Now, logic micro operation. This logic micro operation is basically used for bit manipulation. For bit manipulation, this logic micro operations is used. That means if it is 0, then change it into 1, or if it is 1, then change it into 0. So bit manipulation and decision making. Now, what is the meaning of this decision making? This decision making is what? Result or the operation, result of the operation is correct or not. That is the thing. So logic micro operation basically does what? It basically used for bit manipulation and decision making. For this, the logic micro operations is used. And the four commonly used micro operation is what? The four commonly used micro operations is AND, OR, XOR, and complement. So complement means what? That means if it is 0, then it will be 1. If it is 1, then it will be 0. If we make the complement of a value. So this is the four commonly used micro operation: AND, OR, XOR, and complement. So this is why the micro operation is used. This is why the micro operation is used. Now, the four hardware or hardware implementation for hardware implementation of the logic operation is like that. Okay, so it is like that. So here you see 4 into 1 mark is given. The 4 into 1 mark, and in this 4 into 1 mark, that means there will be 4 input and 1 output. So there will be 4 input and 1 output. So each of the 4 input will work, each of the 4 input will be one specific operation. That means, let's say this 0, this 0. This 0 is what? This 0, 0 input will be for AND. This 1 like will be for OR. This 2 is for into second into line is for XOR operation. And this third is what? This third